All right, so we have our beautiful timeline right here. So the first thing we want to do is to have our screenshots. So I'm going to leave this in the description that you can download later on and try your hands out on it. Also, once you have your screenshots ready, you want to import it to the timeline. So then the next thing we are going to simply do is to come over to this media right here. Make sure you have clicked on media. Then you can come over to this library right here. We want to import the background that we'll be using for this particular video as you've seen it before. So you're going to scroll down a little bit, and this is the particular one that I used. Just drag it down to the timeline and we have the canvas set up right now. So you want to come back to media, click on this local again, then you want to drag down your screenshots right over this image right here. So now the next thing we're going to do is to crop our screenshot. To do that, just click on the screenshot right here and click on this crop icon right here. So once you click on the crop icon, then you crop out the part that you don't need. I'm going to crop out this part right here. Then I'm going to click on confirm, and now as you can see, we now have this amazing screenshot right here. Now we want to adjust it a little bit. So you want to make sure you go to the edges like this to adjust it. So you can adjust it down a little bit. Now we have our screenshot ready. So the next thing we want to do is just to adjust this a little bit so that it can go through with the timeline. And now the next thing we want to do is to add our highlight. Okay, now to do this, all you have to simply do is to go ahead to text right here, then click on default text, drag the default text right over on top of the text. Then you want to go ahead and click on it, then edit it and type in capital letter I. Now as you can see, we cannot see it currently, so what you simply have to do is very simple. Just come over to color here and put it in a color yellow, because yellow actually comes out as an highlight much more better. Okay, just come over to the text once again on the screen, click on it. As you can see, this rotate button just to rotate your text a little bit to the 90-degree. As you can see on top, we have the 90 minus 90 degree showing. Or if you can't get it right, you can simply come to the position right here, and this rotate, you can set it to be at the angle 90 degree. Now it's at 90 degree. Now the next thing we want to do is just to adjust the position and the size of this. So we want to turn off this uniform scale so that we can be able to adjust it as we want. Now I want to click on this scale width. So we want to make the width a little thicker, then the height also a little longer. Now I want to drag it to the exact position that we want it to come in at. Then we want to make it cover everything, then adjust the scale and the width also a little bit. Now for the magic to happen, all we simply have to do is just to go over to this opacity, drag it down all the way down to 30%, all the way down to 30%. And now as you can see, it is barely showing right now. The text is now showing underneath it. Now the next thing we want to do is to drag our text to the end of the screenshot timeline. So let us make this also a little bit further. Then we want to drag this a little bit further. Now that we have this right now, we have our highlight on the text. You can make this any color. You can make it green, red, or yellow, any color that that this black text will actually come out. And we are going to test run each and every of this color in an amazing way very soon. So now what we have to simply do now is to add an animation. We want to see the coming in effect and the coming out effect. So we want to simply go ahead to this animation right here. Now the animation that actually goes well with this that I have tested out earlier. So we'll come over to this in right here, and we can see we have showing left. Normally, we have rotated this particular text right here. Is a text that we are using and manipulating. So we want to choose this show down, and you can see now you can adjust the rate at which it is coming in. As you can see, the more longer, the more you want it to be, as slow as you want, you can adjust that. But now I'll be making it a little faster. Okay, that is very cool. If I play this now right now, let me just play it. You can see that's that. So if I want to play with this, I can actually come over here and make this screenshot also pop in before the animation will go into it. So I'm going to click on the in, make the animation also come in a little bit so that you can see that. So make it a little faster, and that is that. So if I play it right now, the animation comes in and the effect, the highlight effect actually comes in after that also. So we want to highlight all these ones also. We want to highlight this, we want to highlight this, we want to highlight this, and we want to highlight this. So and we don't want this to leave it. We want to make sure this is still there until we finish what we are doing. So what we're simply going to do is just to click on this and click on right click on it, then click on copy, then click on right click on it again and click on paste. Now as you can see, we now have double of that. So once it reaches this particular one right here, just drag this down a little bit, drag it down. Now we have on our timeline. So if you text it right now, this also comes in. Okay, now it is not perfect yet. Okay, so we want to adjust this, come down to position and size, then we want to adjust the scale width for it to cover everything up. Want to adjust this, then want to adjust the height also for it to cover everything that we are doing right here. And as you can see, this has covered everything that we want. So if I play it again right now, that comes in and this also comes in. Perfect. No, so now that we have this coming in like this, we want to make it come, this particular one to come over to every other text that is here. We want to make it highlight every other one, also at the same time changing the colors. So what we simply have to do is to use what we call the keyframe animation. This particular diamond icon that is here represents keyframes. Okay, we can use this particular keyframe to animate any object and any stickers, any text, any, even you can use it to create a cinematic appearance, to add a zoom in and zoom out effect to your videos. So if you guys want to learn more about keyframe, type in keyframe in the comment section and I'll create a separate video on keyframe that will be a detailed one. Now for us to go back to what want to do, so now you just drag the playhead to the position where we want to add our keyframe. Now what we are simply going to do is to add our keyframe to the color. So you can see here, right here, saying add keyframe, and once we add that keyframe to the color, as you can see, it is now showing this particular white diamond icon on the text. This means that we have added the keyframe to it. Now also you can see that this particular icon has changed to turquoise blue, so that means we have added the keyframe for the color. Then you want to scroll down also and add it to the position and size. Once we click on this position and size, it will also add every scale width, scale height, and position every other thing. This means that when we move our keyframe and add another keyframe, it is going to remember that particular position. It's going to change position when we move the keyframe a little bit forward. Now what we are simply going to do is just to move our playhead a little bit forward, then we come over to the color section and we add any color that we want. So for this one, I'm going to be adding the red color right here. Now as you can see, it is now showing red. Now I also go to the screen and drag it down a little bit. So now I have changed the color and I, at the same time, I changed the position because we have added the keyframe, and when we moved a little bit forward, it added another keyframe. Okay, so when we play it right now, this is what it's going to look like. This will come in, this will come in, then it will go down and become red, as you can see. So this is how it is going to look like. So now what I'm simply going to do is just to repeat the same thing I've done just right now. Let me repeat one so that you guys can understand it very well. What we're simply going to do now is just to first of all come to this color, add the keyframe. Okay, then come to the position and size, add another keyframe. Then you want to drag your playhead a little bit forward, then come over here and change it to any color that you want it to be. I'm going to select green this time around, then I'm going to drag it a little bit down, then if I play it right now, this is how it's going to look like. Come in, go down red, then go down green. As you can see, this is looking amazing. So I'm just going to add just one more and I'm going to be fast with this. Now if I play it right now, this is what we have these right now. Currently it comes down, become green, then become purplish, like purple. So that is how this is going to look like once we add the animation effect. So now the last thing that we are going to be adding is just the sound effect. We need a sound to go along with this and make it pop out very, very well. So now this, what we're simply going to do is just to come over to audio right here. Now you come over to transitions. Once you click on audio, come over to transitions. Now you have a lot of transition right here, but I'm going to be choosing a particular one, which is the high swishes. Okay, you want to look for high swishes right here. Now we have the high swishes. I'm going to drag it down. Drag it down a little bit right here. Then I'm going to adjust it, just a little bit, adjust it like this. So I'm going to play it for you to hear. That's how it looks like currently. Okay, now if you actually go ahead and see this particular position, you want to place it at the particular position where the first one actually comes in. So I'm going to place it at the position of this particular screenshot coming in right here. So if I zoom it in right here for you to see carefully. So I'm going to adjust it a little bit like this, and you can see when it comes in, I'm going to lower the sound a little bit so that then come in. Now I'm going to copy this right here. I'm going to adjust this, then right click, copy, right click again, then paste. Now we have the same one that we have cutted, adjusted a little bit. Now when the text comes in, so this is not coming in a little fast, so I want it to come in a little fast so that it can tally with the sound. So I'm going to come to animation. I'm going to adjust this a little bit forward. Now as you can see right now, this comes in amazingly, and the sound goes well with it. Now the trick I use for my sound is that I can add different sound effect to this. Now what I'm simply going to do is to add a vortex sound and this like techno glitch. I'm going to place this under techno glitch. Then I'm going to add vortex sound also. This combo are very amazing. This will sound amazing. So I'm going to drag this. You can see this place is where the sound is actually coming in, so we don't need all this empty one. Just drag it in. Then I'm going to drag this currently here, and I'm going to cut it at this particular position. Click on cut, then delete the rest. Now I'm going to drag it for it to to be under exactly. Now I'm going to hear it. As you can see, that sound makes a lot of sense. Now that we have everything, so you just have to check it properly to see whether the sound really tallies. Then you're going to highlight, just drag everything, just like create and highlight these three audios, then right click on any one you want, then create a compound clip. So now we have our custom sound. As you can see, now we are going to copy it and put it at every junction in which our text performs any animation. Now if I play it right now, this is what it's going to look like. As you can see, this is totally mind-blowing and amazing. Now that we have everything all together, that is amazing. Just want to adjust this a little bit for you to see everything much more clearly. Now I'm going to adjust everything to go out amazingly. So we want our outro to be epic also. So now what we're simply going to do is to make sure this text aligns with each other. Okay, make sure they align with each other any way we want them. So now it is aligned with each other. Now we're going to add an outro effect. Click on animation, click on out, then you want to come down and add an outro effect. I'm going to use this wipe down. So this wipe down goes perfectly. Then I'm going to repeat it for this one also. Wipe down, click on that, and as you can see, they both go out at the same time. So now we are going to be adding a particular audio effect that will make this amazing. So we want to come over to our audio effect and we want to select jump and fly away. This jump and fly away, then we want to come down here. Now if you play this jump and fly away, you see that we have two sounds. So this, the second sound, is what we want to use. So I'm going to adjust this a little bit and drag it like this, then adjust this, then place it under this white button where it starts. So I'm going to adjust it and I'm going to play it, and as you can see, it goes out to be fast, to be much more faster. I'm going to click on animation and I'm going to adjust it to come out much more faster. So this one also, animation 0.4. So if I play it right now, as you can see, this now makes a whole lot of sense. Now if we play our video right now, let me play the video for you. That's amazing. So that's exactly how you highlight your text like a pro.